Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beth, and this is going to be my spring 2025 Sephora savings event haul. So I have placed a variety of orders, and I can't promise that I am absolutely done shopping either. I am filming this on the Sunday before the sale ends on Monday. I know I have at least one pickup order in store, and I might snag a few more things while I'm there. I can't promise anything, but to keep this video as short and sweet as possible, hopefully it will go up on the last day of the sale. I am going to organize this by category. So I'll have timestamps down below if you'd like to jump into a particular category. Normally I would film a video like this more chronologically in terms of when I bought things, but to try to make this the most kind of helpful video as possible, I'm going to do it by category. And I will also have all the items linked for you down below so that you can see and check out whatever appeals to you. So I have a few disclaimers. One is some of these items I purchased because I make content here on YouTube. So there are some items I probably wouldn't have purchased separately just for my own use, and I wouldn't encourage or advocate this level of consumption for the average makeup user or skincare user, what have you. So that's one. Two, I'm about to go on a trip. My husband and I are going to London and Scotland for about 2 weeks here coming up. So some of these items I purchased with that trip in mind. And finally, I just celebrated my 40th birthday. So, you know, it's a little bit of a kind of treat yourself moment there. But I know times are tough for a lot of people out there. So I just wanted to kind of contextualize my purchases to the extent that matters to anyone. All right, so I am going to start off with skincare, and as I said, some of these purchases were specifically for the trip. So one thing I got, which is probably a little ridiculous here, is a portable humidifier from Canopy. So we have a full-size Canopy humidifier in our bedroom. It's actually the second one that we've purchased because they upgraded the design. So I would encourage you to look into a Canopy humidifier if you're curious. But I was really intrigued by the fact that this is a travel size. So we are going to be staying with my in-laws for most of the trip. We are taking a kind of short trip up to Edinburgh. But the thing about traveling to see them is we can obviously leave things there if we have to, or if it just makes more sense to do that. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute here. But yeah, I just thought it would be really nice to have a humidifier at times when we go there. So this one comes with a little bag. It's pretty compact. I think that I've seen people have this on an airplane, like on their little tray table or whatever. I don't think I'll break it out for the airplane, but I think for a longer trip like this, it'll be nice to have a humidifier. I'm sure some people out there are saying, how could you possibly need more moisture in England? But anyway, it does come with some aromatherapy. This one is bergamot and tea blossom. Oh, and this is the little, it's like a hockey puck or something. This is like the scent diffuser. So you would put the oil on this. It smells nice, very fresh. So it says, on a flat surface, drip 3 to 5 drops of oil onto puck. Place puck on top grate of humidifier. Switch scent and puck. Repeat. So it has low, medium, and high. And I think that means it's magnetic, which is pretty cool. So I don't think this one has any filters. I think we'd probably use bottled water. And this one has a USB charger as well. This little cleaning brush comes with it, and I guess this is the cable. So USB makes it really easy for travel as well. Oh, and it has a plug as well. So like I said, probably not necessary, but just kind of one of those creature comforts that we're used to. For other travel skincare related things, I got the Tatcha Silk Sunscreen Mini. This was something that Tatcha, I think, repackaged because the original launch of this product, maybe in both the large and the small size, but I know the large size had a tendency to leak. So I think they redid this. Okay, so it has that kind of nozzle now, and this is just a cap that you kind of push on like that. So you get, is it half an ounce? Yeah, half an ounce. So not the most. I do like that this is SPF 50 though. I have my Summer Fridays. This is 1.7 ounce or 50 mil. This is still pretty travel friendly, so I might still bring this just to make sure I have enough to last me. But yeah, because we are taking kind of a mini trip within a trip, there are some things that I guess I would like to be kind of as compact as possible. And that I did, I think, purchase separately, as I'll talk about, because there was a deluxe gift with purchase that I wanted to get. So I ended up buying this before the sale started, along with another product I'll talk about, and I was able to get the deluxe sample that way. Because this is an SPF, I was able to use my FSA dollars on it. And then also I got a mini, this is the waterproof kind of biphase makeup remover from Sephora. I'm not sure if the full size went out of stock, but I don't really recall them ever having a mini available for sale. Sometimes the mini of this product would pop up in like a gift with purchase or whatever. But because I do wear waterproof mascara, I do like using this type of makeup remover. And this one just has a cap, like so. And that is 1.69 ounces. So that should, I think, last me the whole trip. And I just use that with like a Shiseido cotton, you know, hold it over my eyes, and then I have other kind of cleansing balms and things that I use on my face. I got the Astura Ado Barrier Hydro Essence. This is 6.76 ounces. And I think I saw Babs Beauty, Stephanie, talk about this, and I am a huge fan of different milk toners. So I wanted to compare this to like the Rhode, some Paula's Choice ones that I have, the Ilia. So I figured it would be easy enough to use this up. After I purchased this, I also saw Amanda Z talk about this skincare brand. I believe it's K-Beauty. So she really likes this skincare brand as well. Let's just kind of see what the texture is. I think there's a cap here. All right, so now that that is off, okay, so that is kind of the texture. Not the thinnest and not the thickest, I would say, in terms of other ones I've tried. Okay, so yeah, kind of, it's not super oily. I don't think it has a scent to it. It feels nice. So yeah, I'll be trying that out. You do get a decent amount, and it's not super expensive. I also picked this up from Ulta, and I thought I would mention it. This is the Good Molecules Sakura Hyaluronic Acid Boosting Essence. And I checked the ingredients, and I kind of just bought it a little bit more for the novelty and because it was Sakura. It's a very pretty bottle. But it is actually, I think, pretty good in terms of its ingredients. This one has this style of closure. So this isn't a milky toner. Doesn't smell like anything either. But anyway, I just thought I would give that one a shot, especially coming out of cherry blossom season here in the DC area. So is that it for skincare? I believe so. So let's talk about makeup. So I did get my birthday gift from Sephora. So I picked the Mario set, and I did apply this. I just filmed like a Sephora try-on haul, so that'll be up separately. I did try on a lot of the products I'm using. So I finally tried the Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum in Rosewood Glow, and it kind of, I guess, confirmed my suspicions about that product, I'll say. So I guess I'm glad that I never paid for it outright. I got to try it in the set. It also came with this little sculpting lip pencil in Rich Mauve. This is a pretty color, so I guess it's nice to have a little travel size. I don't know that it's my like favorite lip pencil formula ever, but it is nice. Speaking of lip products that are a bit of a fail for me, I did purchase the Iris and Romeo Weekend Skin SPF 30 Moisture Lip Balm Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Sunscreen. This is in the shade Dawn, and I purchased this with the Tatcha mini sunscreen, so because these are both SPF products, I was able to use my FSA dollars on them. And because I was reimbursed, I guess I feel better about having spent the money on this. I wouldn't recommend this. I saw a few people talk about getting this in PR and most of them seem pretty positive about it. I guess for the positives, it is a pretty, well, this could be a positive or negative. It is a pretty heavy kind of glass container, I believe, which feels luxurious, but maybe isn't the most ideal product to put in a bag or take with you or whatever. It is pretty on the lips. So it has, again, one of those kind of flat doe foot applicators. This is SPF 30. I just can't get over the smell. So that is what it looks like over that Mario lip liner. I had the balm on too earlier, but I kind of blotted that off. So it is really pretty, but it just has this weird kind of sour SPF smell to it. And I put it on the other day and I was kind of going about my makeup and I'm like, what is that smell? I thought like one of my powders or something had gone off. But it's unfortunately this product. So, and because you're putting it on right underneath your nose, you know, that's not ideal. So if you were interested in a mineral SPF lip product like this, I would definitely point you towards the e.l.f. Lip balms. I think those are SPF 25, but they have a nice like coconut scent to them. Both this and the e.l.f. are zinc oxide 10%. I did look at like the ultraviolet lip balm, and those I think have avobenzone and some other chemical ingredients. And I still would like to try the In Beauty lip balms at some point. But in any case, I can't really recommend that if you are at all turned off by smells in lip products. So for eyeshadow, so I did end up purchasing quite a few of the Sephora singles, and these, as you can see, I picked up in store. So I definitely recommend buying in store, doing same day delivery, or pickup in store, because even though they've repackaged these, they still end up arriving broken when you order them online. So I definitely don't recommend purchasing them online. It was good to get the 30% off because, as you can see, I bought quite a few here. And I think I talked about these Sephora shadows in my Black Friday haul maybe. I was kind of on a mission to get all of them and do a video swatching them and that kind of thing. And news surprising no one, Sephora did kind of repackage these and reformulate a few shades. So what I did is I purchased the ones that had either been reformulated or that were new. So some of the existing shades I have are in the older packaging, but as far as I can tell, the formula remained the same. So anyway, that video will be up probably in a few months, if I'm being honest. My goal is to get it up in time for the next Sephora sale. So on my eyes, I'm actually wearing a palette I picked up from Ulta, which is new, but from Ulta. I'm mentioning some Ulta products because I know Ulta has sent out some like targeted 20% off codes. So anyway, this is what I'm wearing on my eyes. I did film a separate review of this product, so that will probably be up in like a week or two. I would say don't rush out to buy this, maybe until you see that review, but in any case, that is what I'm wearing on my eyelids. So for blush, so just like everyone else, I have purchased quite a few blushes. I don't know if you can hear my upstairs neighbors. I don't know what they're doing, but they're making a lot of noise. Anyway, I purchased the Rare Beauty blush, Soft Pinch blush in the shade Worth. So this is one of the shades that was not available when these first launched. This is, I think, the rose shade. So I now have all of them, or will have all of them, except for the shade Alive, I think it is, which is that kind of orange shade, which is just not a color I can really see myself wearing. So I think they described this one, Worth, as like a rose shade. The shade Hope is one that I've been wearing a lot. So I'm thinking I will probably take these with me on my trip. They're pretty kind of compact and travel friendly. So that was the shade Hope. This is the shade Worth. So that is Hope and Worth. Worth is a bit warmer than I might describe a rose shade typically. I did also purchase Thriving, which is more of that kind of raspberry pink shade. So that is in store, waiting to be picked up for me. The other three I have actually Let a Friend Borrow. So that includes the like plum shade, which is Truth. I think Grateful is the red shade and Happy is the light pink. So I have a little bit of separation anxiety over it, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, really, really love that formula. Also on the topic of kind of bouncy, putty blushes, I did pick up one of the new Bobbi Brown blushes. This is the Pot Rouge Velvet Matte for lips and cheeks in the shade Tea Rose. So I thought about bringing this as well. I don't know, haven't quite decided. I might film a pack with me, but this is definitely more of a moussey texture. I'd say the Rare Beauty is a little bit more kind of putty suede in nature. I just showed you this in my kind of try on, but yeah, if you press in, you don't get that same kind of like moussey look to it. So that's like the Rare Beauty, and that is the Bobbi Brown. The Bobbi Brown also has a little bit more, I don't know, it has a little bit more of like a silicone-y texture. I think the Rare Beauty feels a little bit smoother in the blend. So I'm actually wearing, I think the Bobbi Brown on this cheek and the Rare Beauty on this one. So they're not quite the same. I also like, I guess, that the Rare Beauty packaging is a compact as opposed to a pot. Just keeps things, I don't know, a little bit more organized. And personally, I like to apply cream blushes like this with like this BK brush. This is the A507, and it just fits a little bit better into the Rare Beauty compact, the Bobbi Brown. It's not a pan, but the opening of the packaging is a little bit smaller. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on those blushes. And as I mentioned in my other video, I also like the MAC Glow Play blushes a lot, but these I think are even a little bit more kind of travel friendly than the MAC ones, because the way that the packaging is domed, if there's too much pressure, it can kind of like punch out that inner plastic, and obviously that's not ideal. So yeah, so I got that. I got 2 YSL blushes, and I did redeem a Rouge reward before the sale started. So I ended up picking up Rose Haze First, which is the newest shade to the Sephora website. And I was worried that it would sell out during the sale, which I think it has. It didn't sell out immediately, but it did sell out. So these are nice. I have, I guess, come to understand that I really do appreciate and prefer a cream blush more, but these are just so kind of covetable. And I did end up purchasing the shade Nude Lavalier as well during the actual sale. I have my eye on, there's one shade that still hasn't come to the US, which is Nocturnal Nude. So I plan to see if I can find that in the UK while I'm over there. But yeah, I don't know that this is my all-time favorite formula, but they are really, I don't know, just fun, I guess. So that is shade number 6, which I think is Rose Haze. And then the other one, I think, has a little bit of a sheen to it. So those are the 2 shades there. I do like that the packaging is magnetic. So that is what those look like. I probably won't take either of those 2 over with me, but if I do pick up another shade over there, then I might end up using it. And then I also got one of these guys, which I feel like everyone is kind of eating crow over, because we were all kind of laughing at the packaging, but then everyone kind of sees it in person. They're like, oh, you know, I kind of get it. So I actually purchased this from Ulta. And to be honest, I was mostly interested in the setting powder side of it. I did put a little picture up on my Instagram showing you that these pans are removable, which I'm a big fan of. I would bet money that she releases these kind of more paint corrector shades in a full-size compact like this, but I might just take the powder and put it in a magnetic pan. So the blush doesn't really do much for me. It didn't look quite as garish in person as it maybe did online. The packaging is nice, but it is a lot. So there's the blush and the powder underneath it. So today I actually put the pink powder under this eye, and then I used my normal airbrush powder in Fair on this side, and I think you can definitely see the difference. So I'm hoping she comes out with those shades as part of her permanent line. Like I said, I'm guessing she will, but you never know. So anyway, happy to have that in my collection. Let's talk about bronzers. So for bronzers, I did replenish my Mario Skin Enhancer. So this is the current one I have in light, and it's getting down there a little bit. It's not as pristine, obviously, as it once was. So I did end up repurchasing light. So I'll probably take my old one with me just in case I forget it or something. But yeah, this is what light looks like in its relatively pristine state. And I am wearing, I think, light on this side of the face, and then I did also purchase light medium that I applied more on this side. So yeah, I just wanted to, I guess, try a slightly different shade just to see if I could get even more of a kind of bronzy look. So this one is light and that one is light medium there. And because I do like this formula so much, I wanted to purchase a few other products that have come out. So I picked up the Benefit Hula Wave Bronzing Balm, and I got it in the shade Light. So as far as the packaging, like that's really kind of the extent of my first impression here. You might prefer more of a see-through window. With it being kind of frosted, it's a little hard to maybe see the difference. This one, it does have it on the back. The packaging is nice. You do get a mirror, so that might be something you are more interested in. I'm going to try and do like a roundup kind of comparison video. But yeah, I got the Benefit one. I also got the Sarah Creel one. And this is in the lightest shade as well. I do like the packaging. It's kind of like a little hockey puck. This one is also magnetic, and it has a mirror. So it is a smaller pan size, which I'm not as big a fan of because I like using this BK 105 brush. And I mean, I can get the brush in there, but there's going to be space around it that the brush goes onto. And this you get 4.2 grams, the Mario 5 grams, and the Benefit 9 grams. Holy cow, it's a lot of product. So the Benefit's probably going to be the best cost per gram, but we'll see when we try that out. I picked up a few older ones that have been on the market for a while, but I was just trying to kind of round out my collection. So I got the Refi one in Dune. We'll see how that does. I also have, waiting for me to be picked up, the NARS Laguna bronzing cream. I got the lightest shade in that. And then finally I got the Ilia Sunshift cream bronzer as well. And I think this one has a little bit of a shimmer to it. Yeah, we'll see how that does. This one also has a mirror. So I think I forgot to mention, I did get a mini of the Hourglass concealer in one of the new shades, which is Stone. I think I'm wearing this under both eyes, if I recall correctly. But yeah, I got the shade Stone because I had the shade Birch before, but it was a little bit yellow. So anyway, I might bring that with me. It's very kind of travel friendly as well. So for some tools, so I got a Sephora brush. So Sephora does make good brushes. This is the 80 Pro Brush Bronzer, I guess. And I didn't get this for bronzer. I got it more for blush because I just thought I would enjoy having something where I could pick up powder, blush, and then just kind of apply it that way. I have the Refer number 5, which has been my kind of go-to, but the way I use this is more like that, I guess. So I just wanted to try something different. There's a BK brush that's kind of like this, and also there's like a Rare Beauty powder brush I was looking at as well. But anyway, I just wanted to, I guess, try a different brush to see if it changed how I felt about using powder blush as opposed to my cream blushes, but we shall see. Also, I got the Sephora Mini Daily Brush Cleaner. This is in a spray, and Patty Alonso always talks about this. I don't usually kind of spot clean my brushes, I just wash them. But because we're going to be going on a trip, I thought it might be nice to have this in case the brushes I bring just get too dirty and I need a bit of a refresh. So that is 2 ounces that you get there. And I don't think I've tried that product, so I thought I would give it a shot. Also a tool, this was another Ulta purchase, but it was cute, so I thought I would throw it in here. This is the High Tea Beauty Blender, which is purple. I think it's supposed to be kind of like Alice in Wonderland themed, if you can see some of the imagery on there. I probably won't use this, to be honest. I'll just kind of keep it more as like decor, I guess, which is a little silly, but I just thought it was cute, especially before we go off to London this week. So fragrance. So I did get a few fragrances here. So as part of my Rouge reward, I did get the Fleur Rose Whip, which I do really enjoy. And then during the sale itself, I got the Chloe L'Eau de Parfum Intense. So I'll read you the notes. These are both kind of similar. They're both rose scents. And then I also pulled out this one I had gotten a while ago, but just for the sake of comparison, this is the Nest Lychee Rose. So I was just looking for something fun that I could take on my trip, more or less. I also have a mini of the Sniff Rose Era that I'll probably take. So I have the full size of Sniff, and I've been using that a lot. So I'll probably take that. You can find Sniff at Ulta. I don't think they're at Sephora. And that's what their travel sizes look like. They're pretty compact. Okay, so this is Fleur Rose Whip, and that is how it opens. The packaging doesn't feel all that luxurious, if I'm being honest, but I guess it doesn't really matter too much. So this is a new fragrance from Fleur, and the notes are blackcurrant, rose, and cashmere wood. So it says a warm floral scent that is delicate and deep, challenging the traditional idea of a rose fragrance. Velvety rose, juicy blackcurrant berry, and honeyed osmanthus linger above a leathery base of deep amber, cashmere wood, and sensual musk. Rose Whip is a provocative fragrance that will be your addicting temptation. So I do like this one. It reminds me a bit of Diptyque Bays. Not quite as like sharp and green as that, but I think they both have that blackcurrant and rose combination in common. So I do like this one. I would recommend checking it out, even if you're not normally like a huge rose fan. All right, so for the Chloe, so the notes on this one are raspberry, rose, and ambery wood. So another kind of fruity floral combination. And that is what the packaging looks like. I have to say, I think the Fleur, I don't know if it's just in my head, but it feels a little bit more sturdy. This glass seems a little bit more delicate. So it says it's a classic floral, notes of raspberry, rose, and ambery woods. It says, indulge in a symphony of roses with Chloe L'Eau de Parfum Intense for women. Like a breath of fresh air in early spring, it captures the essence of budding roses, vibrant and rejuvenating. As the women's fragrance unfolds, the aromas of fully bloomed and honeyed roses start to reveal themselves, lending a scent that is reminiscent of moments filled with joy. So I have to say, out of the two of these, I think I do prefer the Fleur. I think the raspberry maybe comes across just a little bit too much for me in the Chloe. The Fleur is maybe a touch more comforting. And I said I was going to compare the Nest as well. How many travel rose perfumes can I possibly bring with me? So the Nest. So this one is lychee and rose. I do like this one a lot. This one has a little bit, I think, of a stronger like floral note to it. So this one says fruity floral, rose absolute, lychee, and effervescent pink champagne, A vibrant combination of rose absolute and fresh lychee is accentuated with the sparkling essence of pink champagne and a hint of raspberry to create this effervescent, fruity, floral fragrance. So yeah, I'm just trying to kind of figure out which of these I want to take with me. I guess I like different aspects of all of them. Like I said, I'll probably take the Rose Era just as like a very easy everyday rose fragrance. I wear that one at home a lot. I might take the Nest and the Fleur and leave the Chloe at home. We'll see. We'll see how things are looking. But anyway, those are some new rose fragrances that I've bought. And I think the last category here is hair. So I'll save what I'm most excited for last. I did get this hair clip. This is from the brand Chunks. I just thought it was pretty, and it's a bit larger than some other ones I have, so I picked this up. This was part of my Rouge Reward order. So yeah, just a hair clip. I also got the K-Teen Volume Spray deluxe sample, so this is part of the reason why I picked up the Tatcha and the Iris and Romeo before. I don't know how you're supposed to use this. All right, so I know Abby Young, I think, was part of the like marketing campaign for this, and I've had that headband in, so my hair is a little bit flatter. See if I can kind of. Oh, it says blow dry for added volume. Well, anyway, I just thought I would kind of give that one a try. So anyway, I prefer to try this out as a deluxe sample over like paying for it, obviously. Okay, so let's talk about hair and traveling. So as I mentioned, we are going to the UK. Obviously, they are on a different voltage and plug system than we are. I had actually purchased a UK version of the Revlon heated airbrush, whatever they're called, years ago now, and I just left it there so I have it to use when we go over. A lot of times I'll just let my hair air dry, but anyway, it's there for when I want it. I have invested in some higher quality hair tools over here, and so I can't say I'm always thrilled to use the Revlon, and it doesn't always give me the results I want. So I saw this pop up. So this is the Bondi Boost Mini Multi-Styler. So I purchased this, and this is dual voltage, which is what you want, unless you're just traveling domestically. But it comes in this cute little bag. It's fairly compact, and when you open it, I think this comes off as well. So I think this is supposed to be like a mat, like a heat-proof mat, and then this bag magnetizes into it. And so when you open it, you get, this is the base, and it has a normal US cord, but you just have to get like a plug adapter. You don't have to worry about the voltage. Most hot tools like flat irons and curling irons will work worldwide. I mean, check before you just plug something in, but usually those are fine. It's usually hair dryers that are the problem. So you want to make sure you get one that is specifically dual voltage. A notable exception I will note are these hot brushes. So I've been meaning to do a comparison video between these, and I just haven't gotten around to it. I did see that Maine has released a bigger version of this. I think they call it the Jumbo. It has my hair in it. But yeah, this one I think is dual voltage, so I was thinking of possibly taking this with me. I don't love the idea of just having these loose bristles in my suitcase, but anyway. Yeah, I think this one is dual voltage, but this one from Bondi Boost isn't. So that's a notable difference there. So I would recommend probably this one over this one if you are thinking of traveling at all. And it's funny to me because this I think is an Australian company. But anyway, Bondi Boost did release this little guy. So it comes with a curling iron. I forget exactly how wide this is. I might have to look it up because I can't remember. But yeah, so I don't curl my hair all that often. And you know, this is off by the way. With longer hair, it's a little bit more difficult to use a smaller tool like this, but still, you know, it could be nice to have if I can actually get my hair on it. If you just want to give a bit of a wave or something to your hair. But it also came with this, which is one of those kind of hot brushes that can help straighten out your hair. I thought this could be handy and just to help kind of smooth down a style that I had like used the Revlon on or whatever. And I do like that because these are detachable, it just makes it that much more compact. So that is what I purchased at first. It just kind of popped up as a new item on the website. So I thought, you know, let me give that a try. And I think this was like $58 before the discount. So not bad when it comes to a hair tool set like this. But then I saw something else pop up that was even better. And I did actually pay for express shipping on this because the normal shipping would have had it arrive, I think, this Wednesday, which is the day we leave. So that was cutting it a bit close. So I paid for the express shipping, which kind of ate into my discount, but I didn't really care that much. So this, I think, is full price $200, which is quite a bit more. But it's kind of, I don't think I'm overstating it to say it's a game changer. And I haven't even used it yet, but it feels that way. So this is the Babyliss Pro Nano Titanium Style Switch. So I checked repeatedly, like on the Dyson Airwrap page and the Shark equivalent page, to see whether they were dual voltage and whether they would work overseas. Unfortunately, they do not. So they are US only, or whatever country you buy them in. I think they're exclusive to that. This is dual voltage, which, like I said, is a huge, huge game changer. It says on here, automatic dual voltage, no damage from extreme heat, smallest and lightest multi-styler handle. So this has not every single attachment that you would get from like the Dyson or the Shark, but Dyson and Shark keep releasing add-ons anyway. So you do have a lot of options. Not all of them are included, but anyway, this comes in a case like so. I don't know that I will take this entire case. It might be a little bit more than I need. And then that is how everything just kind of looks packaged in there. But I wanted to just kind of compare it for you. So this really has, I guess, the items that I would be most interested in using anyway. So that is how everything looks once it's removed from all the cardboard and the plastic and everything. So, you know, I guess if you wanted to just pack this whole thing, it's a little big, I think, for me, but you know, you could put your other hairbrushes in or any hair products maybe, and that would kind of make it a little bit more compact. I might pack some of these attachments separately. But anyway, what you get is the base, like so. And it does have a cool shot. I think it might have a pause button, which is interesting. You can control the heat in the air. It looks like there's 3 different settings for each. And then it has an on-off button. And there is some Velcro around the cord. It swivels like so. All right, so I plug this in. Okay, so there's like an unlock lock button. Yeah, so I think this has a lot of functionality for such a small device. I think it's set at like 235 degrees or something. It has that lint catcher there. It might be magnetic as well. Anyway, I brought out my Dyson. It has the diffuser on it right now. So just to kind of show you size comparison wise, I don't have a Shark to compare it to. So you get basically the same functionality. This one also has a pause button, which is nice. Some of the other Dyson tools automatically pause when you set them down. But yeah, so you get that. You do get, this is the like normal blow dry attachment. So I think you just line up the arrows. Okay, so you line up the opaque and the empty, and then I think you twist maybe? Yeah. So that locks it into place. So that is your basic air dryer. It has these like 3 notches up here. I'm gonna have to figure out what that is because I don't know what that does exactly. It feels like it has a good amount of power to it though. Okay, so 3 options of concentrated airflow for tailored drying and styling. 1 is small nozzle, high air pressure, ideal for drying smaller sections and roots. 2 is medium nozzle, moderate air pressure, ideal for drying medium sections from roots to ends. And 3, large nozzle, dispersed airflow, ideal for quickly drying larger sections and to finish drying the length of the hair. Okay, so I think instead of having like a plastic concentrator, okay, so I think you can see it there if I twist it, focus. You can see it makes it smaller, so it's more concentrated. So I don't know that this will be quite as good as like a concentrator attachment on a normal hair dryer, but it's nice that they kind of gave you that functionality with such a kind of compact device. And I know Dyson, again, has released a lot of different attachments. So this is what the dryer attachment looks like for the Dyson. Just set that down. So, you know, pretty compact comparatively. This is the newer design of the air wrap dryer. So you have like the just general air, and then you can turn it around and have like the flyaway attachment, which is nice. But you know, for a travel device, it's not that big of a deal. So that's kind of the size comparison there in terms of the openings. For the diffuser, I'll go ahead and show you. This is the older model, I think, of the air wrap diffuser. I think they've come out with a newer one. The Babyliss it's not that far off. It might be a tiny bit smaller in diameter, but very, very similar. So even if you're not traveling, I might recommend investing in this over like the Dyson. If you just want to get a feel for this type of functionality. I know the curl attachments are kind of what made the original air wrap so famous, but anyway, this comes with this kind of paddle brush, and these don't move at all. It's just flat. The Dyson does come with like a nice kind of presentation case, but you don't get kind of a travel specific case. So these are the 2 like Dyson dryers like this. I never really understood or used these that much, especially the difference between the 2. But this one, just again, give you the size. If you like drying your hair with a paddle brush, this might be really nice. It looks like there's even a bigger like surface area for these 2. And this doesn't have, I think, any of those knobby bits that kind of come off sometimes and scratch your scalp. So yeah, you do have that functionality as well. And then there's 2 other attachments still. So you get a round brush, which is nice. So I think this is the original round brush that came with the Dyson. And again, I would have to like compare the listings. This one has longer bristles to it, but I'm not sure that the actual diameter of the bottom is any bigger. It looks like this one has another filter down here. Seems like this has fewer bristles in it as well, but if you like kind of wrapping your hair around something. And this is what the larger one looks like. So the barrel itself is a lot bigger, even though the bristles on this come out more, I think, which is just, it's different. It's hard to say how they perform just by looking at them, but yeah, I did get the larger round brush attachment because I do have longer hair, and this is something I was kind of like hunting on the Dyson website when they finally released it. It was like out of stock forever. And now, like I said, Dyson has made a lot of those tools available on the Sephora website. And the last, possibly most interesting thing I think that they included is this guy, which I think is going to be like an air straight kind of tool. I know Shark has made some like Frankenstein kind of air wrap, air straight combinations. I don't know how this works. It looks like it should hinge open somehow. So the air is coming out the bottom. Am I going to have to look this up again? It does have these nice silicone bits. I'm guessing that's to kind of like hold as you pull down. I don't know if you're meant to just like slide your hair into it. Smoothing attachment. Features our root reaching design to get close to the roots, helping to smooth flyaways for a polished finish. So it says this side facing down. These heat up as well. It says 1 3/4 round brush attachment. I don't know if that accounts for the overall diameter, by the way. Yeah, so anyway, so I might have to play around with that or look into it a little bit more, but still, like, it's pretty lightweight. And this is my Air Straight for comparison. So I think the actual, I don't know, surface area of the tool is about the same in there, I think. Anyway, like I said, I think you're getting a lot of bang for your buck, and the fact that this is dual voltage is a game changer. And I think just, it is a little warm now. And I think just, you know, being able to kind of dismantle a tool like this as well, if you can break something like this up to different components in your suitcase, it's a little bit easier to kind of pack it, in my experience. So that is it for my Sephora haul for now anyway. But yeah, let me know what you've picked up and what you're excited about. If there's anything last minute that you think I should grab, I'd love to know that as well. And until next time, I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.